What up, everyone? It's an exciting time. It's the most exciting time of the month, and it's the most exciting time we've had in a while. I know you're all dying to hear a review on this, and you've all been waiting for it, and it's finally here. The Marvel Collector Corps box. Yes, all about this. We have been waiting so long since they announced this, and it only comes every other month, so we've been waiting and waiting, and it's finally here. The box came a while ago, but I haven't had time to do a review, so I'm way behind, but I'm so happy to finally do a review on this, and I'm so happy to get this. Marvel Collector Corps. And on a side note, I've been noticing many people are calling it Collector Corpse. It's actually pronounced Core. I'm sure most of you know, but on a side note, for especially people that aren't from America, it's pronounced Core. Just a side note. Fun facts, moving right along. So, who wasn't excited for this? Like the major titan in the collecting industry, Funko, and a major titan in the comic industry, Marvel, colliding into one. We see Funko and just dominating all these boxes anyway, so it's like, why don't they just create their own box? And they did. So it's a pretty spectacular thing. The only bad thing about this box is it only comes every other month, which is such a bummer. And they've promised 100% exclusive stuff every box, which is awesome, but at the same time I almost wish they would do it every month and like sacrifice some of that. I kind of wish they would have brought it down to like 50% exclusive every month and then done it every month versus 100% every other month, because I would rather see it more often than just like once in a while. So I'm kind of bummed that they decided to do it that way, and hopefully they'll do it every month starting like maybe next year or something like that, because there's no shortage of products. Funko has new series coming out all the time, and they constantly have stuff, so they're the one distributing it. And again, Marvel has so much stuff, like I feel like they could easily fill a monthly box all the time. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. And the other thing is that, oddly enough, Funko is the one putting out the partnering with this box, and I find it weird that they've personally limited themselves to Marvel. Not that Marvel's not awesome. I'm definitely a Marvel guy. Like, Marvel's my #1. Some people are into DC, like I'm definitely a Marvel guy. So, but I still find it weird that Funko didn't just put out a box and do like their own thing. I found it a little bit weird that they would limit themselves to just Marvel. Still a good choice, but it was just kind of weird, if nothing else. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's get into this box. So first off, the box is awesome, and each box is going to be different because this one's Avengers and next time it's going to be Ant-Man, so even the box is cool. And you open it up, and the first thing you get is a little surprise in there. You get a pin and a patch. That's so cool, and I'll do a close-up picture of it afterwards, but just right there on the outside of the box, just the way they even presented it was just cool. I already am in love with this thing. I already like it. So the other thing, I wouldn't say it's bad about it, but just something to note is that they kind of gave away, they told a few things that were going to be in the box right away, which isn't a big deal. Like, I still love it no matter what, but it did take away from a little bit of the mystery. Not a big deal, but hopefully they don't do that every month, because it's kind of cool to like see it for the first time when you open the box. But the first item we got, which we all knew was coming, was the Hulkbuster Pop exclusive, which this has been the main logo on their website. This has like been advertising the entire box, so we all knew it was coming, and it ruined the surprise, but it's still awesome. Like, I think this is the reason why so many people ordered the box, because this is cool. Like, I've always loved the Hulkbuster. I'm so excited that Hulkbuster was in the new movie, and this pop looks awesome. They did a fantastic job. Like, the paint job's good, the sculpt is good, so that's so awesome. And it's exclusive, which makes it even cooler. I hope they don't like re-release it in some weird way later, which I feel like they're gonna do, like a repaint or something like that. So I hope they just keep this exclusive to the box so where no one else can get it. But yeah, this is great, and it's even an oversized one, so couldn't be happier. This is just fantastically awesome, and I love it. So there's that. And then next, we get our first glimpse at Dorbz. This is the new series that they talked about in the February Toy Fair. So a lot of us knew about this and knew they were coming, but they haven't been released. This is the first one released ever. not only is it exclusive, not only is it cool, but this is just the first of a new line, so which makes it just even more special, which is just to boast the fact that Marvel and Funko in a box is just like fantastic. We're getting a preview at something we were already excited for. And this guy, I took a look at him and he's just fantastically awesome. Like, look at this little dude. Like, how could you ever hate that or be mad about that? It's like they took a character and then put it through this filter and strained out everything till all that was left was just like pure, unadulterated cuteness. Just absolutely just adorable. Like, look at this thing. Fucking right, that's just so awesome. And he's got this big goofy smile on there, and it's just so fantastic. Like, these are very simplistic. They've like boiled the characters down to their simplest form and just put a goofy little smile on them. Like, it doesn't sound that crazy of a concept, but they're just awesome. I've seen the ones that are coming, and I'm so excited for these series, and I want every single one. I'm looking at the back of this, the Marvel ones, and I don't see one where I'm like, oh, I don't want that. Like, no, I want every single one. It's just going to be total chaos and pandemonium for these things. So it's so exciting to see that, to get a preview of it, to get a special character, and especially one that was in a recent movie. Like, so again, like, can't express my joy for that. Then we got a comic. And this one is an exclusive. So we got a #1, which we always appreciate, and I've said that before. Whenever you get a comic, you're always going to want the #1, because if you're going to read a series, got to start at the beginning. So some boxes put it starting in like a random issue, which always sucks. So #1's awesome, and it's Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, which is cool, team up, and it's an exclusive cover. So, and I'm pretty sure it was just the cover that's exclusive. As far as I know, it's not the comic that's exclusive. I could be wrong on that. But from what I was hearing, it's just the cover. So someone in the comments may have to correct me if it's just the cover or it's the whole comic that's exclusive. But either way, it's awesome. And they packaged it well to keep it in pristine condition, which I appreciate, because so many boxes beat their stuff to shit. So, and I'm just noticing now, like even on the inside of the box, there's like, you can't really see it that well, but there's like red ink on there to show like old school comics. Like, this is just the box that keeps on giving. Couldn't be happier. And then the last item is a shirt from Avengers Age of Ultron, and it's got, what do we got here? It's got Cap and Ultron. And you probably might not be able to see too well from the camera, but you can actually see there's like a gradation from like blue to black on the ink here, which I didn't notice right away, but it looks really cool. And it's like an old school like boxing poster type style, and it's got the blue to the black, and it's nice quality, and it's actually printed on like a good brand. I've never heard of this one, Flophouse, but it's not Gildan, and I tried it on. It fit perfectly. It was fitted. It was nice. It's soft. It had a good design. Like, they spared no expense on quality, so I really appreciate that. So that's super cool. So that was all the items in the box. So let's get into some value and talk about some cool shit from this box. All right, value time. So we got a lot to talk about with this value, but let's jump into it. So the shirt, 12 to 15 easily. This might even be worth more than that because it was such a nice quality shirt, and it's exclusive. Not that pretty much all shirts and boxes are exclusive these days, so it's not that big of a deal. But it was fitted, it was printed nice, it's nice quality, it's on a nice brand, so 12 to 15, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be comfortable valuing this even higher than that. I won't for the sake of this box, but it was a very nice shirt, and I was very happy about it. So, the pop. On these oversized pop figures, the retail market is about 15. You'll see them go as high as 20 in some places, but the actual just normal price of these is $15. Next, the Dorbz. So this, it's hard to say because these haven't been released yet. There's no price on them. Even on like the Funko like pricing website, there's no prices on anything. So this one, the Dorbz, I'm guessing are going to be right around $10 because I've seen the packaging on them, and they're all packaged individually with like a nice little window there. So each character has its own individual box, and they're fairly large. So I could easily see them going for $10, maybe even more than that. If Funko wants to charge a little more, they could easily get away with charging like $12.99 for one of these things because of the size and because of the quality. But Funko's usually cheaper, so like I could see them charging like 9 or 10, the same as like a reaction or a legacy figure. So that's what I'll value at that at. Next, we got our pin and our patch that were stuck to the outside of the box. Now even these I was excited for, and they're really not much to it. Like, they're good quality, but they just say Collector's Corpse, and one has Cap's head and one has Ultron. But even these I was excited for because they just did such a good job on everything in here. So the pin, normally I'd rate pins at like 50 cents or $1, but I think this deserves like $1, maybe even $2, because it's a nice metal pin. It's like good quality, and they printed it really well, so I'd be comfortable with $1 or $2. And the patch, I'm even going to rate this higher than a normal patch because it's just good quality, and again, it's exclusive. So normally I'd say $1 or $2, but I'll say like $2 or $3 for this because it's really cool and it's really well done. And lastly, the comic book. The comic book, $4. It says on there $3.99, so $4. So the value with those numbers: on the low end 44, on the high end 50. So I did the math. So about this box, like, I was one of the first people to do that. So I was one of the founding members, and I did the yearly thing, and I did the math on it. So when you divide it throughout the year, this box comes out to about $34. So with a $44 to $50 value, that doesn't seem that high. But here's something we have to consider. These values are not the actual value. I did this for F-Box, so it's only fair that I do the same for this box. So the values I gave you are the price for the general item of this nature. But because these are exclusive, they actually get a different value. So just like with F-Box, the Gray Wind figure, the cost of it's only $10 for a pop, but because it was exclusive and it's hard to find, it got a higher value. So I'm going to have to do the same for this box. So going back through the value, this pop figure, a normal one would be $15, but this one, I checked the pricing, and the cheapest I've seen this go for was around $30. And I've seen it go as high as like $45, $50, sometimes even $60. Not listed for that much, actually selling for that much. So somewhere between $30 and $45 would be the value of this figure. And even the Funko pricing guide valued this at $45. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not unreasonable to market at that value. So I'll go as low as $30 because that's the lowest I've seen it go, but as high as $45, maybe even higher than that, because it really is an awesome figure and it is exclusive, so it deserves a higher value. The Dorb, same thing. It's exclusive and you're never going to see it again. So the normal would be 10, but I think this would easily go for 10 to 15, possibly even higher than that. But we don't want to get too crazy, so 10 to 15 on that. And then the comic, same thing. So the price on this was, don't want to damage it, was $4, but I would value it at somewhere between like $4 and as high as like $10 because this is a cool crossover comic and it's exclusive and you can only get it in the box. Exclusive comics like aren't that rare these days, but getting it only in the box like boosts the value. So the shirt wouldn't change much. All the shirts are exclusive shirts, so that's still going to say in like the 12 to 15, maybe higher range. So with those added values, considering that they're exclusive, that brings the low end up to $58 and the high end up to $90. So it's up to you how much you take into consideration the exclusivity of these items. But even still, on that lower end, $58, like, you got, considering the exclusive values of them, like the resale values, not how much they would cost, even if you could buy them in stores, how much they would cost, but the resale actual value, you got way more than double. And they were awesome. Like, it was fantastic. So, this is going to be the first box to ever get this rating, and probably the last, but I'm not totally comfortable giving it like a perfect 10 rating because these boxes in general are still in their infant stage. They've only been around so long, and this is a brand new box and new ones are popping up every month, so I'm not totally comfortable giving it a 10 rating because there's still so much more development that needs to happen just in general. But I would easily give this a 9, maybe even a 9.5 out of 10. So again, I wouldn't give it a 10, but if any box were going to get a 10, it'd be this one. So I'm not putting it at that point because it's too early in just general life of these boxes to see where the future is for these kinds of companies. But 9 to 9.5, probably a 9.5, because this is pretty much as good as it gets. Not only did you get awesome stuff, not only were they great quality, but they were all exclusive. Everything exclusive, which no box has ever done before. You got fantastic value. Even if you hated everything in this box and thought it was shit, which I don't think anyone does, I think that's pretty impossible, but even if that were the case, you could sell this box and make a tremendous profit. These values are, I checked, are what they're selling at online. So you could sell everything in here and make double what you paid for it, even if you hated it, and you can't argue with that. And who doesn't love Marvel? Like, if for some reason you hated Funko and Marvel, then you probably shouldn't order the box, first of all, but that's the only way that someone wouldn't like this box. I can't see anyone being disappointed by this box. I legitimately loved everything in this box, the style of it, even the decoration of the box was done fantastically well. So I literally couldn't be happier. I was so excited about this, and normally my hopes are up too high, but it was right up there, and I was so happy with everything in here. So, sorry. So, even though this didn't get a perfect 10 rating, you might as well consider this a perfect 10 rating, because this is as good as it's ever going to get. Like, this is the tippy top, and I doubt any box is ever going to come close to this again. The highest I've ever rated a box was an 8. No one's even gotten close to a 9, but this is practically a 10. So I was so happy with this, and I loved having it. I hope you feel the same. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone loved it, but if anyone hated it, hey, let me know. Maybe I'll change the rating. So, and I'm also so happy to have finally gotten this box out there, because I can't tell you how many times people, like, told me about this. Like, I was there, I ordered this box, like, within the minute of it being announced. Like, it was announced, I was there, and it was done. And that was like, what, 2 months ago? Maybe even 3 months ago or something like that, that they actually announced it. And every day since then, at least one person says, like, hey, are you getting Marvel Collector Core? Like, did you hear about this box? Like, I think you'd like this. It's Marvel and Funko, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm so happy I finally got to review this box and it's out of the way, because that's like half the comments these days, like, recommending this box, which I appreciate. I love that you guys recommend stuff, but it'll finally be nice to not have to respond to every single one, because it's officially, like, out there and we got it. So, I'm happy that I got it. I'm happy that I reviewed it. I'm happy to move on from it. And now we gotta wait another 2 months for the next box, which I'm so bummed about. I wish it was every month, and it's such a bummer. Like, let's try to veto them into doing it every month, like, in the future. And on a side note, the next box is Ant-Man, and nothing against Ant-Man. I wasn't too excited about the movie. I saw the newest preview, though. The newest preview actually makes it look really good. The first preview kind of sucked, but the newest preview, if you haven't checked it out, go watch it. It actually looks really funny, and it actually looks like a pretty good movie. So I'm actually kind of excited about it, but I'm not super excited for the box, though, because I don't think there's any Ant-Man product out there. I know everything Funko is going to be releasing in the next year, and I didn't see anything about Ant-Man. I'm sure they'll have, like, a normal size pop of Ant-Man. I'm sure they will. If they don't have one scheduled, they'll make one for it. And I'm sure they'll have a shirt and probably a comic, but I don't know what else they're going to do. Like, I don't think they're going to disappoint. I think they're going to give us some cool stuff no matter what, but I'm just really curious what they're going to do with it. I just don't see a lot in the market to put in there. But hey, I'm more than excited to be proven wrong about that. So anyway, this has been a fantastic box, and I loved every second of it. So I look forward to the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Peace.